Hey everyone, I'm going to show you how I built this coffee table right here. It was a super fun project, my first real welding project, and yeah, let's get building.
So the first thing I did was go into CAD and model up the table. I was able to pull dimensions from this and have a pretty good plan going into the shop. I did almost all this project at my local Makerspace, which is a pretty good metal shop section. I used 1¼ inch tubing for my base and cut all of this on the horizontal bandsaw. The nice thing about the horizontal bandsaw is that as long as everything's clamped well, it ensures that the tubing is cut square. It also allows you to make the cuts the exact same length. You can see me adjusting where the tube is clamped in order to make sure that my dimensions are the same. After cutting everything to length, I rotated the clamp 45 degrees to make my miters for the corners. I cut one side, then measured out the width of the table and went back to make the final miters on the base pieces. The final thing I cut in the metal shop was the tabs that will hold onto the top wooden surface. I used a piece of 1-inch stock for this and cut all the tabs with the abrasive saw. The saw leaves a bit of a burr, so I cleaned that up on the disc sander. Now the next step was to cut all my pieces for the tabletop. I bought this solid wood tabletop at IKEA and trimmed it down to a more manageable length on the panel saw. From there, I took it over to the table saw to cut everything to the correct size. Now the tabletop is pretty much made up of 6 2½ inch wide slats and a large main piece. Now because of how I wanted the grain to run on this table, I wasn't able to get the large piece out of the width of the tabletop. So I had to join two pieces together, and I just did that by cutting a few biscuits and gluing that panel up. Not sure if the biscuits were totally necessary, but I had never used a biscuit joiner before, and it seemed like a good opportunity to try it out. After that was all glued up, I sent the large piece through the drum sander to smooth out the surface, and also went over everything with the orbital sander, making sure to get all the edges. For finishing, I used a simple tung oil finish, making sure to get all the edges, sides, as well as the bottom. For the final assembly, I knocked some rubber feet into the legs to keep them from marring the floor. I also laid out all the wooden pieces how I wanted them, and used some tape to secure them to the base. I then flipped the table over to make sure none of the pieces shifted, and then screwed everything down. And that's the final table. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.